over here we've got these 4 panels laid out in front of us, so it's just a matter of putting them together at this point in time. So let's get them out, our lefts and our rights. We've got a bottom, we've got our top, sitting all out in there. So we're just going to take the edges, line them up with our button locks, get the bottom flushed up. Like that, and then just start popping that in down the line there. And you see how this little pucker is here in there. So if we let that, it's going to be bent. So what we're going to do is we're just going to over on this end put some extra tension up, and that'll straighten that out, and then we'll pop that back in. Right up the line. And then we'll do the same with this other side. Get everything lined up. We'll start with this one. There's that. Again, we got an area here that needs some tension, so just pick up the tension. There we go. We've got our plenum minus the top, which is next. So I'm going to show you how to make a 16-inch by 16-inch lid, and then I'll convert from these dimensions as well. So I got a 16-inch width here on this one, and that's what we're going to go with. So in order to make the end cap of the plenum here, or the top panel, what we need to do is note that it's got to be an inch additional in size around all edges. So if it was a 16-inch by 16-inch plenum, you're going to have a 18-inch by 18-inch piece here, minus an 1/8 inch. And don't forget that. And what the 1/8 inch, the deduction of the 1/8 inch does is it gives you about a 1/16 of an inch on each side for it to slip down in. So let's go ahead and get that piece cut there. So it's 16 inches in width there for that part of the project. So we need to have 18 inches, an inch on each side, minus an 1/8. So we're looking at 17 7/8 square for that project. So I'm going to go cut that next. Okay, I found my piece. I'm going to cut that 17 7/8 by 17 7/8 square. So I've already taken the time to lay out the marks. And the width, 17 7/8, 17 7/8 long there, and we're going to cut that off next. So let's do that. There's my part, and let's take it back to the bench. Okay, here we are back at the bench looking at our part there. Got our 16-inch width and set up to fit the plenum, so we cut it 17 7/8. Now we're going to make our marks on it, so we've got to have a 1/2 inch in with the inch bent out. So because I took the 1/8 into account, I won't have to offset my marks or overbend them or anything like that. I can just mark the 1/2 inch and the inch, and we'll be on our way. So simply just take your 1/2 inch all the way around. Real simple. This will be the inside. And then for the cross break, we'll just give it an inch mark on the edges there. So so you know where those got to be. Where to cut them. And then on the other side is going to be the outside, so we just want to have the inch marks showing there on those, so we know where to bend them. We don't have to run them all the way across, because that's going to be exposed and showing. Okay, now that I've got this that far, we're just going to take the long 10 snips here, the aluminum snips, and we're going to cut those corners off, and just cut them off just slightly on the inside of the mark there when we 45 them out of there, them triangles. Okay, we've got our marks out of there. We got the 1/2 inch set up. So the next thing is to put a small cross break in that, corner to corner. That's why I've got the 1 inch marks on the break there. And then now we're going to start with our 1/2 inch rolls first. So we're going to bend that 1/2 inch roll all the way over, but we're not going to tighten it because we need to be able to have that small gap in there where we put them together. So we'll take that all the way over, simply take it out, move it to a 1/4 turn. I haven't closed it yet. That'll come in just a second. Set it back in the apron. Next one. Now as I make this side, as I make that corner, I'll have an opportunity to pull that down about where it belongs. So notice there's about an 1/8 of an inch gap there, or a 1/16 inch gap between that flange. I don't have it crushed all the way down where you can't access that. And here on the other side then, again the 1/2 inch all the way over. And we'll keep right on going around. Not all the way tight, just close with that gap. And then finish this one here. We'll just start in the corner and keep making our way around. So the next thing is to flip the sheet over and then bend it on our inch marks to a 90 degree all the way around. These marks didn't go all the way across. They're just right on the edges there. And that is sufficient to put the bend. When I tighten this down, you'll notice the arm is not all the way ahead. It's just got some tension on it there. And then I'm going to pull that up to a 90. And the reason I don't have it crushed all the way down is because I don't want to close the underside of this fitting here. I want to have a small gap in there so I can put that on top of the other part of the plenum. And then this area on the edge of the brake is open with that relief cut out of it, so you don't have to damage anything, and you can keep working your way all the way around the 3 sides. So again, not closing it all the way, pulling that up to a 90. Next corner, this is the 3rd side. And then the fourth side is the hardest, but we got a 45-degree mark here, so nothing will get in the road on us. Should be just fine. With should work with no problems. Again, not closing it super tight where it's going to give you problems. Otherwise, you'll have to open it back up and then pull it up to a 90-degree. And then we've got our lid. Now, there's a couple areas usually on the corners that you're going to have to open up, like right here. So you just take a screwdriver and slip it in there. Just finish opening those up where it's accessible. Usually if you watch and you don't close them too tight, it won't be too big of a deal. If you do make a mistake and crimp them all the way down, well, you'll have to get maybe a scratch awl in there or something and just open them up a little bit. So, all right, that's that part of it. So now let's go over to our plenum here, and we'll work our way around from corner to corner. Again, yours is going to be a 16-inch by 16-inch plenum. For that, so just start in one corner, get everything fitting together, and then before you close the other corners down, it is wise to make sure we got everything locked in tight here, sitting on the ground, and then tap them corners over. And that is why when we originally cut them, we cut them straight, so there's this extra room here for locking these things over. There's extra material. It's kind of nice. And then just keep going right around the box. Third side. Again, got to work them down. Missed. And the fourth side here. The last thing, if you like, you can take your seamers and you can finish tightening these down, and then of course tape it. And there you go. You should have a 16-inch by 16-inch finished dimension by 20-inch tall plenum, if that's what we were building per the plan. So again, this one was built to fit the furnace, so let me show you how that fits. So there, we're sitting it up there, up on top of our plenum transition, or on our A-coil. And there it fits. We'll be able to run the screws right through our flange up there, and that should make that seal real nice. So hopefully this helps, and if you liked what you've seen, hopefully you enjoyed it. So thanks a lot. We'll talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.